guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Almeria in La Liga. It is the final match for Barcelona in the 2023 calendar year, competitive match, I should add, and Barcelona are under a lot of pressure where they face the worst team in the league and have no other exceptions apart from picking up 3 points, because if they don't in this match, you can pretty much write the season off. The pressure on the player and the manager to perform in this game, get the result, a good performance is very high, and hopefully they end up achieving that. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video, be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 7 p.m. local time, so 2 hours earlier than the usual kickoff time that we are used to. And this match will be taking place at the Lluís Companys Stadium in Montjuic, so it's nice to have the final competitive match of the year being at home. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch, it will be Guillermo Fernandez, and on the VAR, it will be Eduardo Iglesias. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona are currently sat in 3rd place in La Liga on 35 points. After playing 17 matches, we have 10 wins, 5 draws, and 2 losses. You look at our last 5 games in the league, the recent form is dreadful with 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. So we are currently officially 9 points off the top of La Liga, 7 points off the top of 2nd place Real Madrid, and only 1 point ahead of Atletico Madrid, who do have a game in hand. I believe they'll be playing that game in hand at some point this week as well, because they have to play before Christmas. They have to play Sevilla, a game that was suspended earlier on in the year due to some weather conditions. Atletico Madrid did lose their last game against Athletic Club to 2-0, so this give a little bit of a wiggle room for Barcelona, but Madrid beat, who did they play? I think Las Palmas or something, Valencia, or I don't know. So they played a team. They beat them, I think, 4-1. Then Girona played yesterday, I believe it was, on Monday, Alaves, and beat them 3-0. So the league is very much close to being out of our reach. Once we hit double digits, we're toasted. We are banking on the fact that other teams in and around each other will beat each other, and then also we have to go out and do the job as well. I said this on Twitter the other day, and I'll say it again. We faced Girona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid all at home already, so which means we got to go to face them all away in the second half of the season. So difficult away matches. It's looking peak at the moment. Barcelona really have to get on a good run. I'm saying like 7 to 10 wins in a row to really get back in this league title race. Like Xavi mentioned in the press conference, we'll talk about it later on. I don't think it's dead quite yet, but we are on the verge of being out of this title race. Now, if you take a look at the top teams and who will be facing this midweek La Liga roundup, the Atletico Madrid will be hosting Getafe, Betis will be hosting Girona. That could be a bananas of a game, and Real Madrid will be traveling to Alaves. So I expect both the Madrid sides to get 3 points. Girona going to the Benedito Villamarin. It will be a difficult matchup. You could maybe see a draw happening there, but again, Girona are right now the best team in the league, so they could definitely get 3 points there, but it won't be as clear cut as the 2 Madrid games. So again, for Barcelona, there is a little bit of a window there with Girona having a difficult matchup. You never know, Madrid traveling going to Alaves, that could be a slip up. I think Atletico against Getafe at home, you never know. Getafe are a decent side. Borlas is 4-4-2 versus Simeone's 4-4-2. If you like defensive football, that's the game for you. So we'll wait and see how those games turn out, but of course, in order to capitalize on those games, Barcelona have to get the result themselves first. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Almeria and where they're currently standing in the league table, they are currently sat rock bottom in the league in 20th on 5 points. After playing 17 matches, they have 0 wins, 5 draws, and 12 losses. They are by far, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst team in La Liga, and they are definitely on course for relegation. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Almeria. Like I just mentioned, so far in the league, they've done the worst. They have not picked up a win in this first half of the season whatsoever, and they are definitely on course to being relegated by the end of this season. But the last time we played Almeria, we actually lost. We lost 1-0 away from home. I believe this is straight after we got knocked out of the Europa League by Manchester United, so the heads were already down from the players. And again, with Barcelona, you already know once there's one bad win, it continues on for a little bit before the momentum changes. I remember this game very well. We had a lot of chances. Again, pretty much the same story of the season, just not finishing them. They had one long ball in behind when Barcelona were already high up the pitch, and they end up, I think it was like a bar down goal, and Ter Stegen couldn't really save it. But again, it was a poor showing, and again, it just shows that the same problems that we saw last season are still continuing into this season. Now, if you take a look at Almeria's last 5 matches in all competition. In their last match, they drew 0-0 with Mallorca. They lost 2-1 to Atletico Madrid. Now, in the Copa del Rey second round, they lost to the Barcelona opponent for the round of 32, Barbastro 1-0. So we could maybe be facing Almeria instead of Barbastro, but Barbastro did beat them, so that was one of the upsets of the second round of the Copa del Rey. They drew 0-0 with Betis, and they lost 2-1 to Getafe. So against the difficult sides, they're losing by 1 goal, and against the medium lower opposition sides, they're getting draws. But again, it's not really enough for them to really put a stance on them being a dangerous side. Now let's take a look at the last 3 league games in all competition. Firstly is that 0-0 draw with Betis. You can see the formation on the screen in a 4-2-3-1. Again, there are some former Barcelona players on their side. You have Hakimi at left back, La Masia product. You have Chochumi at center back as well, who's a former La Masia Barca B product. But again, it's a side where they have the personnel, they have the experience, you could say, but it's just not being effective whatsoever. But in this match against Betis, they did put in a fight. Of course, although Betis is a decent side, probably around mid to low to higher in the league table, but it wasn't enough to get their first win of the season. Next up is the match against Atletico Madrid. Now this one they put up a fight. I believe Madrid were 2-0 up, and they pulled one back around the 70th minute. So Madrid were cruising for a bit, but they made that last half an hour or so difficult. Again, it's always down to how effective they are in the game. Again, you can see it's a 4-2-2 in this game, where they had the center attacking midfielder play more up close to the striker. But it's a team where you can see the fluidity in there, but it's just not showing on the pitch. And again, the opponents they're coming up against makes it 20 times more difficult. Even last season, Almeria, they barely stayed in the league. I think they just survived relegation, but again, it is now catching up to them as they do lose at the Wanda Metropolitano. And their final match in all competition is a 0-0 draw against Mallorca. This is a positive result for them, of course. They're not getting wins, might as well get draws at home as well. We know Mallorca are a decent side filled with that experience, and you can see that chemistry when they do play. With Almeria, they do lack that quite a bit. They did put up a fight. They kept that same style as well with the 4-4-2, with the Cam playing in behind the striker, kind of forming a flat midfield and a flat defense. But in the end, though, still wasn't enough for them to pick up their first win of the season. So overall, final thoughts on Almeria. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. They're not really a great side. Their manager is Garitza Garitano. He's been with them for quite some time now. I believe he was appointed in October. I think Almeria were the first team to sack a manager in La Liga this season, which of course to be expected. He's come in, they've improved a little bit, but still not enough to get their first win so far. I think he's not going to last that long. He's probably got, I think, another month left to get a win. If he doesn't, he will probably end up getting the sack. In terms of players to look out for, there is, like I mentioned already, former Barcelona players on this side, but no one really to scare you. No one to say, oh, he has that spark to do something. He has that ability to make some sort of movement. It's not really a team like that. They have some experience of, La Liga experience in their side, but it's a team that just comes down to not only their luck is on their side, but also their effectiveness is on their side. There's nothing really scary or threatening about this team. It's not like a Mallorca where they have a Moriki up front. They have a Darder in the midfield where they can do something. It's not a team like that. That's why they're pretty much destined for relegation. It's not really a side that's threatening whatsoever. But again, never take anyone too lightly in the league. They can make a difference, but so far this season, we just haven't seen it. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. His press conference this morning, of course, I lost a lot of questions from the media about the end of the year, Victor Roque coming in, then of course January market opening up very soon. So let's go and see what the Gavi had to say this morning in the presser. So he started off asking about Almeria, of course, saying it's an important match for us. All 3 games without wins so far in the league. Winning the league is still possible, and we have a chance of winning it. We play good football, but we have to win the matches, and we have to play a complete match for tomorrow. He then asked about the market, and what we're looking for is always to strengthen the team. The Gavi injury, we need a profile of his type, but it's difficult to find. We will see the fair play. We are working with Deco and the president. So again, more positive signs about Barcelona, not only bringing in Victor Roque in January, but also maybe a midfielder. Xavi continues by saying that we can't put pressure on Victor Roque or young players like Lamine Yamal. They have to go step by step. We have to take a step forward as a team. We lack forcefulness in the box. A lack of effortness has weighed on us in many games. We have to redirect the situation in La Liga, but it can be traced. Then asked about the Champions League draw about facing Napoli that we play against the Italian champions. They are in a situation similar to ours. It's a 50-50 tie. They have changed their manager and now they have Marazzi, who is more of a defensive coach. It will be a complicated tie. Then he was asked about the VAR audio in La Liga being public. The RFEF Federation released an announcement, I think about an hour ago, saying that from now on, in the new year, they're going to release the audio that happens between the referee and VAR so they can make it public. And Xavi was very happy about this, saying that it's a step forward in football. It's very positive that people will see what's going on. The referees must humanize and see how they must be helped. It's great news for football, and I'm very happy about it. Then he was asked about Girona being top of the league. Of course, and I've already said that they are a direct rival and they are forcing to fight for La Liga. The coach has made a very good approach and they have high-level players. They are a direct rival to compete and win the league title. Then asked on Lewandowski, saying Lewandowski is no exception to the lack of effectiveness in the team, but here they all fail. We have 9 points less than last season, and I'm sure we've done things wrong. Lack of effectiveness and forcefulness in the game, I think we have improved and mastered, but the lack of forcefulness in the areas is what's weighing on us the most. So Xavi thinks that we're playing better and we're building up better and creating more chances better than last season. Just in the final third, nothing's coming in our favor. At the moment we suffer, we have defended well. We kept a clean sheet in many games last year, and this year it's costing us. We have to fix the forcefulness in the areas to be competitive in all titles. Then as on the Super League ruling, I'm looking forward to seeing what they decide, and we are going to be standing with the club, of course. Then as on Victor Roque, saying that if everything goes well, he will join after the holidays. We are in contact with him so that he arrives in good condition. So we do expect, I think at some point next week, the presentation of Victor Roque as a Barcelona player in the press conference and all that jazz. Then he was asked on what titles he thinks Barcelona can win or what we can compete for. He said, look, we don't have to fail. Our mistakes are taken there on a toll on us. In the Valencia game, it was to win it all. We had to finish the first round in a positive way and make a better second round. Girona and Madrid not to fail, and we have to go game by game as well. So he's still saying, look, the league title, definitely a possibility, but it is going to be a difficult challenge with the hope that other teams fail, and also we have to do well on our side. I think we've improved our game compared to last year, and we always want to reinforce the pieces that we're missing in the squad, and with Gavi's injury, we need a player who has that similar profile. Then asked on pressure on him as a manager, saying I don't work with a psychologist, I'm with myself, with the staff. I'm very stubborn, and I have a hard time when things don't go our way, obviously, but I'm fine, I'm positive and excited. And then he was asked if he lacks optimism for Barcelona. He said that we have failed, but we are going to fight for everything. We can plug in and we will have our moment. If we fail more, it'll be complicated, but we're going to fight for all the titles. Then he's asked on Romeo on his mental state and all this stuff, saying look, he's a very strong guy. He's mentally very prepared and he will help us. He will have minutes and opportunities again. He will help us. He's a very strong guy. With of course now Frankie de Jong being suspended for tomorrow's match, he was asked on the possibility of Marc Casado getting some minutes tomorrow. He said that Casado is clearly prepared, like Fermin Lopez is, like Romeo is. De Jong's a significant loss for tomorrow's game, but we can make up for it. Then asked on Raphinha, of course, and what I would like to highlight about Raphinha is his heart. He is not selfish, he is generous, he works for the team, he suffers a lot when things don't go our way. And finally, Xavi concluded by saying that I'm calm, I have confidence of the presidents of Deco and the players as well. At the end of the season, we will wait and see how we ended. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Almeria tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict his lineup. It will be fairly simple to predict. I don't think he'll make too many changes, but of course, keep in mind, we do have the friendly match on Thursday as well, which Xavi will have one eye on to keep the players rotated and fit. That way they don't get any injuries. But of course, this game is definitely the priority, and I think that Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Inaki Peña in goal, a back four of Cancelo, Araujo, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield three of Romeo, Gundogan, and Pedri, and the front three of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and João Felix. I think he will keep it fairly strong. Few rotation moves maybe here and there. I think he will put Koundé to the bench, bring in Christensen. I think Christensen needs minutes. He deserves minutes. And Koundé, although he played well against Valencia, he's playing a lot of minutes recently. Of course, he played that midweek game in Antwerp, but he didn't get rested over the weekend where Christensen did. So nice little rotation there. I think he will keep the fullbacks the same. Midfield, of course, no De Jong, so someone's going to have to come in. I think he will bring in Oriol Romeu. To be honest, I'm not too fussed about it. This is the perfect game for him. You're facing the worst team in the league at home. If he cannot do it in this game, then fucking hell, what's even the point? The front three, I think he'll keep the exact same. I think, of course, he wants to go with the best foot forward. This is, you know, in Xavi's eyes, this is the best front three. And as soon as they get goals, hopefully it'll give them that confidence and momentum that they do end up needing. I do maybe see Varane starting over one of the three. Definitely. I don't think Lamine Yamal will start, even though I think, you know, otherwise. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. But that's the line I think that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few tweaks and changes from Xavi's lineup prediction. I have gone with this lineup on the screen right now, and I've made a few rotations. Firstly, the back five stays exactly the same for me, and I agree with it. In the midfield, I brought in Sergio Roberto because what Sergio Roberto did against Antwerp midweek is more than enough and was better than what Romeo has done in the midfield for the entire season, in my opinion. I think against Antwerp, Roberto played well. Again, at right back, he did probably put the worst individual performance of the season against Villarreal away. But in the midfield, he did a job, so I want to, you know, back that with a start in this game. The front three as well, I've binned it completely. My thought process with this front three is that Lewandowski can get his Polish fraud on the bench. That was guaranteed for me. I want to bring both Varane and Lamine Yamal, and the question was, who do I drop to the bench, Joao Felix or Raphinha? I'm going with Joao Felix just because I think Joao Felix's overall game hasn't been great recently, where Raphinha has, but in the final third, he's just not, you know, being effective whatsoever. So I've kept him in there for some confidence. Hopefully the final third gets a goal. I think Lamine Yamal definitely deserved a start. He was our best player against Antwerp. Did not even get a showing in the starting lineup against Valencia. I think he came on last 15 minutes. Still looked alright, to be fair. I think out of all the forwards, in my opinion, Lamine Yamal has to be the first name on the team sheet. The other two, you can pick and choose how you want. That's just how I personally see it. But that's the line that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I have gone with the official prediction of Barcelona win this match by 3-0. You're probably thinking, Barca boy, win by 2 goals and a clean sheet. What are you smoking? No, I'm not predicting this because I think it will happen. I'm predicting this because it has to happen. Like, we have to win this game by more than 2 goals, and I think we have to get a clean sheet as well. And here is the crazy stat that Barcelona now have gone 17 consecutive matches without winning a game by more than 1 goal. The last game where we scored by more than 1 goal was Antwerp 5-0 back in the middle of September, and for the second time in the 124-year history of this club. Last time it happened was October 62 to February 63, and the number reached 18, and that record can be equaled in this game. Then it could be passed, of course, against Las Palmas in the new year. We have got to win this game by more than 2 goals. For me, winning this game by more than 2 goals is probably more important than getting a clean sheet, but for me, they are both clear objectives in this game. And you know what? This is the perfect game to do it. End the year off high, get the confidence going. You're facing the worst side at home. It cannot get any easier than this. This is the easiest game of the year for Barcelona, and it's coming in now where we need confidence, we need some momentum. This is the perfect moment. So I've gone with 3-0. Of course, the 3 points is the priority, but my God, if we don't either win this game by more than 2 goals or get a clean sheet, I would personally call the season off. But let's hope that will happen. I think I am very confident that Barcelona will win this game. Let's hope those 2 objectives in the clean sheet and win by 2 goals are achieved. But I have gone Barcelona win this match by 3-0 as my official prediction. But of course, let me know your score predictions down in the comments below. So that was my match preview for Barcelona versus Almeria in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing I want firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go with? You're the manager. Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me. Follow share for the match by my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Win by 2 goals in a clean sheet, or else I might just off myself completely. But I'm confident the team can get the job done. So I'll see you guys then. Take care, and Forza Barca.